You are about to become someone who does not exist. Every year, tens of thousands apply. Almost none of them make it past the first form. This is not a job. It is a ladder with no name on the bottom rung and no guarantee at the top. You will not be called an agent. That word belongs to someone else. Someone you will recruit, not someone you become. This is your life, rank by rank, inside the Central Intelligence Agency. Level 1. The applicant. You are 24 years old. You submitted an application 8 months ago and heard nothing back. Then one day a number you don't recognize calls you twice in 1 hour. You cannot tell your friends what the interview was for. You cannot tell your parents either. The background investigation goes back further than you thought possible. Old roommates, old girlfriends, a teacher from 9th grade. Then comes the polygraph. 2 hours of the same 3 questions asked 17 different ways. You are not being tested on what you did. You are being tested on how you carry a lie. 90% of applicants never make it this far. You just did. You are told nothing about your first day except a date, a gate number, and a warning to tell no one. Level 2. The trainee. You are 25. You arrive at a wooded facility in Virginia that does not appear on any map. Officers call it the farm. For months you learn surveillance, counter-surveillance, and how to recruit a stranger to betray his own government. The instructors build entire fake cities for you to fail in safely, before you fail somewhere that isn't safe at all. One class famously rebuilt an actual Moscow manhole and cable trench, alarms and all, just so a trainee could practice defeating it. A trainee once cut his hand during that drill and failed the exercise. Not for the injury, but for the drop of blood he left behind. You learn that the smallest mistake is not the danger. The smallest traces, they tell you something that never leaves you. Over a full career, you'll get roughly 7 or 8 postings. 7 or 8 chances to choose your life. You graduate. You are handed a name that is not yours. Level 3. The junior officer. You are 27. Your first title lands you on a pay scale most federal employees have never heard of. It isn't the normal GS ladder everyone assumes. Some of you sit on an entirely separate track built only for this work. You spend your first year at a desk at headquarters, reading raw intelligence reports most of the country will never see. Your coworkers correct you the first time you use the wrong word. You do not run agents. You run assets, human beings who risk their lives for a country that isn't theirs. You start to understand the actual org chart, intelligence, operations, science and technology, support. 4 rivers feeding 1 ocean. You are good at this. Good enough that a supervisor writes your name down for something bigger. You are offered your first overseas rotation. You say yes before you finish reading the details. You call it your first ticket. You do not know yet how few of them you truly have. Level 4. The case officer. You are 30. You are overseas now, working under official cover. A title at an embassy that is not your real job. Colleagues who've done this for 20 years tell you the same thing. This is the best job in the entire agency, not the promotions. This. You spend your days reading strangers in seconds. Who is nervous, who is lying, who might be persuaded to betray their own country for a reason only they understand. You meet a source in a parked car at 2 a.m. He hands you an envelope with shaking hands. You do not shake at all anymore. Your family thinks you work in trade policy. You have gotten disturbingly good at describing a job that does not exist. You lose a source this year, not to death, to fear. He stops answering. You never learn what happened to him. The failure sits heavier than any success ever will. You've used 2 of your tickets now. 5 or 6 remain. A cable arrives from headquarters. Your next posting isn't a choice. It's an order. Level 5. The NOC. You are 34. You've been selected for the rarest track in the agency. Non-official cover. No embassy badge. No diplomatic protection. No agency to call if it goes wrong. You build an entire false company, a false resume, a false decade of your own life, in case anyone ever checks. If you are ever caught, your own government may not be able to publicly claim you. Your spouse knows fragments, not the truth. Fragments arranged to look like the truth. You build relationships with people who will never know your real name, in a country that would jail you for existing here. You go months without hearing your real name spoken out loud, even inside your own head. This is the loneliest rank in the entire agency, and almost nobody outside it ever hears the word NOC at all. You survive it. You are recalled. You are promoted quietly, the only way this agency knows how. Level 6, the station chief. You are 40. You now run an entire country's worth of operations. Every officer under that embassy roof answers to you. The ambassador outranks you on paper. In the room where it actually matters, you outrank almost everyone. You read the president's daily brief before most of Congress does. A source you personally recruited 8 years ago now sits inside a foreign cabinet room. You built that access with patience most people don't have. You lie awake some nights running the numbers. How many of your people are exposed right now this second because of a decision you made? You've spent 5 of your 7 tickets. The math is starting to feel final. Headquarters calls. They want you back in Virginia, not in the field anymore. At the top, level 7, Senior Intelligence Service. You are 47. You've crossed into a tier most Americans don't know exists. Above the entire graded pay ladder, a flag rank tier called the Senior Intelligence Service. You no longer run operations. You decide which operations are worth someone else's life. You sit in rooms with the director, sometimes with the president. Your name appears in exactly 0 public documents. The officers you trained 15 years ago now run their own stations. You see your own younger self in every one of their mistakes. You have 1 ticket left. You don't spend it. You've realized the last one isn't about a place. It's about how you leave. You are asked to become deputy director. It is the closest a career officer gets to the very top of the pyramid. Level 8, the legend. You are 58. You retire. But retirement here does not mean freedom to tell your story. Any book you write, any interview you give, goes through an internal board first. They can delay you. They cannot silence you just because the truth is unflattering. You think often of the ones who never got this ending. A wall inside headquarters holds over 100 stars. No names carved beside them, just stars. Beneath that wall sits a book with blank pages still waiting to be filled in. Names the country still cannot be told. You attended funerals for people whose cause of death, even to their own families, was simply the word classified. You think about the version of you that filled out an application at 24 years old, certain he was applying for an ordinary government job. He had no idea what he was really signing. None of them ever do. You spent your whole career becoming someone who does not exist so that your country could. Somewhere in Virginia right now, a young officer is being handed a name that is not his own. He will spend the next 30 years becoming someone the history books were never allowed to write about. He has 7 tickets left. He does not know yet how fast they'll go. The cycle continues.